Hi folks, Jason Webster here. Welcome to this episode of InsidePTI. Hey, today we are at the PTI farm and we want to give you an inside look at some crop injury. Now we have a situation at the PTI farm where we are giving new meaning to the word hot load. Here at the PTI farm, when we spray herbicides, we use a local ag retailer to go get our herbicides. We have our own sprayer, we do our own spraying, but we get our hot loads from the ag retailer. So we go into our ag retailer, we say we need a corn mix of, say, Acuron, atrazine, what have you. They mix it up, we bring it back and we spray it. On Friday, June 3rd, we went and got 2 loads of a corn mix that did include Acuron and atrazine and Roundup. And we came in and we sprayed our corn. The first load was absolutely fine, and you can look to the right of me on some of this beautiful green lush corn. It looks fantastic. No issues whatsoever. However, things went awry on the second load. The ag retailer mistakenly got a product on accident in the tank, and we came back and sprayed. We had tank contamination, and as a result, we have serious enough crop injury that will cause death. Now, we take a look at this, what's going on. We look at the symptomology of these corn plants. It's pretty easy to figure out what herbicide compound got put on this corn on accident. And when we look at this corn, as soon as I saw it starting to show symptoms, I thought, you know, it looks exactly like what volunteer corn looks like in soybeans after we spray it with a lipid inhibitor. In other words, Post Plus, Select Max. It's clethodim. Clethodim is the active ingredient that caused this problem. So yes, we went and we requested a load of herbicide, Acuron, atrazine, Roundup, and they accidentally put clethodim in the tank. And when that happens, that's a bad deal. And the thing you can really, tell that it's clethodim is that it'll go right to the meristem. It'll go right to the growing point of corn. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a whirl from this corn. And you can pull it up out of the plant pretty easy because the growing point is dead. Now I'll walk up here a little closer so you guys can see this. But this is just pulling the whirl up, and you can see this crop injury. I mean, this is death. It's just, it's probably too slow of a death for me because I want this corn gone because we're gonna have to replant it. But we can pull these whirls out. I'll pull a couple more out here. And you can just see the dead tissue down in the whirl, and that's how a lipid inhibitor works. It's going to go after this. And so now you can see this corn plant, I call it ghosting. You see how it's just kind of this whitish grayish color. You're getting purpling happening in the leaves, but that's sugars. That's nutrition basically that was going to be in this plant, but now it can't go anywhere. It can't move because this is totally shut off right here. I'll pull another whirl out. And it's just, this corn is dead. It may look like she's alive to some point with this green tissue, but this corn is just dead, basically. And so now we are in a situation. We sprayed on Friday, June 3rd. We let this corn, let it show the symptomology for a week. And now we're in a situation where we caught some rains. We got about just a short inch of rain, so we're waiting for things to dry out a little bit. But now our task at hand is to remove this crop, and we're going to have to replant. We can't come in with soybeans this given date. Today, as we film this, it's June 12th, and I can't put soybeans in here. I'd love to, given the date on the calendar, but I've got atrazine on here. I've got 2 shots. I've got an Acuron Flexi, a straight Acuron. I just can't put beans in this. It just will not work. So there is a 7-day post interval after we spray a clethodim. You have to wait 7 days to come in. We're past that right now. And so we're going to come in, we're going to remove this. Not quite sure how I'm going to do this quite yet, but I guess we'll call this a learning experience. but we're going to remove this crop and we're going to go ahead and plant anywhere from a 95 to 100 to 103 to 107 day corn. We're going to look at, I guess given the situation, we're going to try to learn something from this thing. We're going to look at VIP corn versus non-VIP corn to look at some late season insect control due to the late planted nature of this corn. We're going to look at what maturity of corn should we plant if we get into this situation. Today's Inside PTI agronomy tip of the day is, this is gonna happen in the future. I still think if we don't have the qualified people to do this, to do the mixing, we've got to have the automation to make sure some of this stuff doesn't happen as frequently as it does. But we're going to learn from this, though. We are. And I want to invite you out this summer to look at some of this corn that we replanted. And let's have a conversation about, what are we going to do to try to fix this? What were maybe some of the yield consequences at the end? What did we do to manage tar spot, things like that, insect damage? Let come out this summer. I would invite you to come out, contact your local precision planting dealer, ask them for an open date to our field days. Come on out. You can see what we did to this corn to get through this, to manage it. And I'd love to have a conversation with you here at the PTI farm. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Inside PTI. I wish I had better news for everybody, but given the situation, I wanted to show you guys and give you an inside look here at the PTI farm. We'll see you on the next episode of Inside PTI. Thanks so much for watching.